topic is about making a change in your community. What are you doing to help out your neighbors? What are you doing within your community to make a difference?
So my husband and I, we moved into our community and became homeowners back in 2008. And, I guess before then I always thought, because we were always renters, that once we lived in a community that we would do a better job at kind of getting involved. And at the same time, my husband was working for our local radio station. That gave us great exposure to a lot of the things that were going on in our community, different types of events that would be sponsoring goodwill towards specific groups, whether they were cancer, recovery, or trying to raise money, different stuff like that. And a lot of things that I had no idea even existed out here, even though I had been living here for 10 years or 15 years, but he had been living out here his whole life. And we had always talked about wanting to find a cause to donate our time to. Unfortunately, I don't know if I don't think it's necessarily selfish, but more just, life happens, that we ended up not being able to do any of that. We had to, we were just so involved with everything in our house. This is our house behind me. And would I like to be more involved? Probably. I think that it's a great thing to start teaching Aubrey to help others that are less fortunate than us. Whether it's getting involved through groups through our church, because I know they sponsor a lot of things. And so it would be a nice thing to teach her, but in the meantime, I guess that means that we have to start doing it ourselves and working towards the cause. So hopefully one day soon we'll get more involved, but I guess, we're still trying to, find our place and figure out. I think that in order to help others, that you should know what you want to set out for. And a lot of it comes from just internally.
Volunteering within the community has always been something that's been really important to me and my family. And unfortunately, it's not something that I'm doing currently, but I know that it's something that I want to get back to in the near future. I think that knowing that we're so blessed in our lives that we should be able to give back and more than willing to give to those who may be less fortunate than we are. I think it's important to not only volunteer within your community, but to have that spiritual awareness that it's better to give than to receive, and that giving is nurturing to your soul. I think that's very important, and it keeps you grounded and it keeps you humble, which is something that, I've been raised since I was a little girl to appreciate the blessings that have been bestowed on my life, and to know that, it's not something that's guaranteed. And volunteering is part of that. It's giving back to your community, making sure that you're aware of what's going on within where you live or your community and your lifestyle, and that you never lose sight of who you are. Volunteering is about knowing who you are and being able to give that back to the people around you.
So I think that we all probably have our own little platform that we like to make known in the community, things that we're passionate about. And I've got a couple, and I feel very lucky and blessed that I have a business structure that allows me to kind of easily get that out into the community through photography. We do a free wedding every single year for a deserving couple, and it usually follows a theme. So like last year's theme was, I wanted to celebrate the fact that love and the marriage ceremony is kind of, it spans all over the world. It is the one kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the one ceremony that all cultures celebrate, as well as birth and death. So it really draws all of our communities, all of our cultures together. And so last year's free wedding was a multicultural wedding. I wanted to photograph a wedding for a couple who are not only an amazing couple and what they do for the community and give back, but that they also happen to be a multicultural community and blending different cultures together. So it happened to be just a Christian ceremony blended with a Nigerian ceremony, and it was phenomenal.
Volunteering and giving back is so important, and I'd love to hear what ideas you guys have out there as to how we should volunteer, what you guys are doing within your communities, and how you're giving back.